Friend, go ahead and unmute, friend.
Hello.
Friend, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? I'm lacing my shoes right now, but I'm good. How are you?
You said you lacing your shoes. You about to go somewhere?
No, I'm putting them back in because I like clean my laces.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
friend, what are your initial thoughts from the audio? And as a woman, do you feel empowered by what she said?
I think my initial thoughts were like, oh, like good for her, I guess. Like I don't know. I don't come from a position of a similar standpoint, but I also think like fuck it, like that's what makes her happy. She should do it. Um, for me, does it empower me? No, because I don't have a similar desire, need, or want. Um, but do I think that it empowers like a general consensus of like doing whatever does make you happy? Perhaps, you know. Um, People get inspired by different things. It's not for me. But the way that you said, like, oh, well, if I do drugs, like, or sorry, if my friend does drugs, like, I won't encourage, like, encouragement, I think, is very different to support. So if your friend does something that you don't necessarily agree with, you can either support them in the sense of, okay, I think you should get help, or you can support them in the sense of, okay, like, sure, you do that. Like, it's two different things. Um, so I don't think it has to necessarily be encouraging of their behavior.
Okay. What does being sexually liberated mean to you, friend?
So in the in retrospect of like historical things, I think it just means like women doing what they would like to do. And one thing I really hated about a lot of people who were on this earlier, where they were like saying like, "Oh, well, like she's giving herself away," and blah, blah. Like women aren't objects. Like we're literally not objects. We're human beings. We're not inanimate. So like, if a man can do it, I'm lost on why people think it's like okay for men and not women. Can you like expand on that, perhaps?
Would you say, friend?
I'm just confused as to why people keep mentioning it in the sense of like women giving themselves away and not men. Like, why is there such a double standard with it? Can you perhaps expand or?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not justifying the double standard. I'm not saying that it's right. But like Ty said, Ty doesn't even believe in like multi dating. He doesn't believe in dating multiple people at one time. And even Ty just said that like even men shouldn't be spreading themselves thin and just giving anyone access to their body either. And as I've gotten older and more mature, I do agree with that. Couple years ago, I probably would have had like a completely, different mindset on it. But it's just our country, friend. It's just a double
But
standard.
it's
Like
not.
I
It's
can't
not.
I can't say why it's
All
like
right,
that.
can I explain that a little bit then,
Go
Noble,
ahead, Ty.
if you
Go
know?
ahead.
Go
So
on, Ty.
so so yeah, like come on. Like even though people don't like it, we're gonna be real about it, ladies and gents. Like women get pregnant, men don't get pregnant. All right, man has a tool, but he can get a woman pregnant if he's not strapped up or whatever. We understand that, but at the same time, we understand one big thing about this. Okay, men can get multiple women pregnant. Okay, they can get a whole bunch of women pregnant. Women, you can only get pregnant one time, and you guys got to have to go into a little down period, and then then you go into the next one. Okay, so we understand there's clear differences. Y'all not gonna like it. It is what it is. But there are clear differences. Why, when it comes to those type of things that are difference between male and female. Yeah, well, man and woman. Let me not say that because I know people go crazy.
Wait, so are you suggesting that the reason why promiscuity is more accepted amongst men is because of pregnancy?
No, 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 that's not the only reason, but that is a factor, though.
I mean, it's a factor, but it's not the whole package, and I think that's where like the disparity between men and women is falling these days, right? Like we have more birth control, we have more like control over other things, like we're allowed to be educated, we're allowed to have jobs, we're allowed to earn income, we're allowed to have access to like so many things.
Yeah,
The
that's
second
difference
that like
between
promiscuity is brought into
pregnancy
the
and stuff
picture, it's
like
like,
that.
oh, men are the only people who can access that barrier. And like, I'm not someone
Hmm?
who promotes it. I don't necessarily love the idea, but like, it's nuts to me how like we can access pretty much everything else in society, but like that one thing is like, well, that's just for men.
I respect what you're saying, and like, unfortunately, we understand where you're coming from. Women, for the most part, it seems like y'all just want to be able to do absolutely whatever a man can do, and I don't know. I haven't spoken to, I guess, people in my anecdotal life and my, experiences that are trying to do the most to, be exactly equal to
Actually,
women, but
exactly.
now it's
But the funny part about that is that black women are more educated than black men, statistically speaking.
Whoa,
But
whoa,
but
whoa, whoa.
That's just a
regardless,
fact. That's a
why are you even
statistical
bringing up
Hey,
fact.
but
why are you bringing up education? Why does
they're also
education
But
more
matter
that's
to you
like,
vicious
then?
than
but
black
you
men
just
too.
said, literally just said, women are trying to do what men are doing. You don't know a
Yes.
man who's trying to do what women are doing, but like, yeah, men literally aren't aiming for the same bracket in like multiple arenas of life. So of course they're not. They're literally choosing to not. But then, so why is it so unacceptable that a woman would aim for the same like distinction and or recognition or acceptability in
So
the
so
space that a
se-
man
so
is in?
sexually
This is the
liberated.
one
That's a
sector.
department that you guys wanted to be able to do better than a man. You guys want to be
It's
able to
not that we
sleep
want to
with
do
more
better, but it's
people
like,
than
why
than
is it
than than
questioned
men
to a
than
different
men.
extent?
What was that?
Aside from pregnancy, why is it questioned to a different extent?
Well,
Oh well,
can I
okay.
say
Go
it,
go go
guys?
go, go ahead. Go ahead, Pete. You got it. Easy.
So, let's just be completely honest here. Now, if we really want to think about it, it's the
Issy, is that
societal.
you?
Yeah,
Oh, I was about to say. It's you. Go
you know
ahead.
they be getting me on all these backups.
Gang gang.
I had to get another one. Had to borrow somebody's. But yeah, so I'm saying based off of society and what's okay as a man, or what the other sex values, right? That's really what it comes down to. Like, we can't tell y'all to stop valuing money in somebody. Like, women, we can't tell
But
y'all
the
that.
funny part is that
But
like a lot of women are earning a lot more than men, so I feel like that's
I'm
majorly invalidated.
that
Okay,
Like
what
hold on,
this
hold
is
on, hold on, hold
evidence.
on. Hold on, before we get off track, hold on. Friend, do you think there's a thin line between hypersexuality and being sexually liberated?
I think there's just a lack of understanding of the two. One tends to stem from trauma itself, right? And like being a nymphomaniac is very different to just like enjoying whatever you enjoy. Completely different things. Also,
Um,
someone just said
so
having degrees doesn't make you educated because you're not. First of all, spell correctly before you insult me about education. Second of all, how else are you going to measure education? I just want to know. I just want to know how you're measuring
But
it.
and noble brother, like, I don't understand why women don't understand that it's so easy for you guys to obtain sex. It's like,
right.
But it's easy for men
y'all
too.
truly feel just because,
Historically
yeah,
speaking,
just
it has always
because
been easier for
y'all not
men.
choosing those
Wait, wait,
specific
wait,
first
wait.
people, meaning that you don't have the option. If you woke up and said, hey,
Uh,
I want to ask 10, 20 men outside right now just for waking up if I want to have sex, right?
okay, Ty, wait,
Most
wait,
of those
wait,
men are going to have sex with you.
wait, wait,
We're just gonna be honest about it. But when it
wait,
comes to
wait.
men
But
in here, men
that's
can't
not
do the
the
same thing.
point,
Yeah,
though.
no, it is
Right?
the
It's
point
always
because
wait, wait, wait. Let me finish.
liberation, you guys gonna
Let me
get it from
finish.
left and right. That's what I'm saying.
Let me
Go ahead.
finish though. The
Yeah.
the access to it has always been relatively easy for both men and women. The difference is that it's
what?
more accessible
He
for
said
men.
For
men and
both
women.
men
Okay,
and
good.
women
Pause.
is
Let me
crazy.
finish. Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah.
The
Hold on.
difference
Let
is
her finish,
this.
guys. Let her finish.
The main difference and the main differentiator in this is that it has been more socially acceptable for men to have access, whether it be through money or like literally paying for it or otherwise, to have more sexual partners. And a large historical part of that is that we need to know who the father is, or we need to know who the mother is, whether it be for religious reasons, societal reasons, etc. Correct? However, right? The actual knowledge of how many partners someone has always had a higher like point for men. It's always been accessible to everyone. Let's not pretend it hasn't been, because else who would men be having sex with, whether it be their own gender or otherwise? Like, it's always been accessible. It's about the acceptability of it within society, which has shifted. And frankly, women's sexual liberation, let's not pretend that it hasn't been associated with men thinking that they have the right to access it farther. Like, they're both
Oh, okay,
intertwined.
so you just confirmed it. You just confirmed that the reason why they're doing it is because
Why
men
I'm doing
normally
it?
doing it. So you just confirmed it. Thank you.
I never. No.
Yes, you just confirmed it. What you just
Confirmed
said.
what?
You just said that when these women are speaking on liberation and stuff like that, these men are upset that they're pretty
No, I
much
said that
able to.
it has been associated with men expecting father
Exactly. So
access.
that thought process is allowing these women to say, okay, this is how these men think, and I can do it too.
No,
So
I
I want to
said
be
the complete
liberated. That's
opposite.
like we said.
Actually, your
It
your
doesn't need to be. It
interpretation's
doesn't need to be
incorrect.
said. But if they want to do it, then by all means do it. But you don't have to
Okay, but
be
then so why
trying to
is it
promote
so
it.
shunned upon? That was really my question. Like, why is it so shunned upon? Because obviously men are having sex with women. So why is it so shocking to
I,
men when women have had sex with men? Why is it so
It's
shocking the other way
it's
around?
it's not women having sex with men. Like nobody says
okay,
it
hold
is.
on. Let me ask Fran the last question. Hold on. So friend, do you think it's appropriate that women who don't spread themselves thin, and you're someone that you don't spread yourself thin, do you think it's appropriate that women like such as yourself support sexually liberated women that do, or do you think it's more detrimental?
I mean, I think that sexual liberation, as I just said, is very different to nymphomania. So, for example, like if my friend is in rehab, I can support them. I don't have to be in a similar position. Um, Similar, right? People go to rehab for nymphomania. You can go to rehab for a million things, for eating disorders. I don't have to be in your position to support you, and supporting you can mean you improving your behavior or changing it for your benefit, or it can mean like, okay, like you can do this, but I'll support you so long as you meet such barriers. Like, okay, you must be safe, like you must get your checkups every month, etc. So I don't think it necessarily has to be, in the sense that I think you mean on social media. I mean, promoting it is a
No,
completely different thing, right? Like
I
if
mean,
everyone's
I
like,
mean
oh
all
yeah.
across the board, friend. I mean all across the board. So like,
So I think
even though
supporting
you're someone,
and yeah, I think supporting is
you,
very different. Like being like, okay, you can do you. We do that in
yeah.
everything, right? Like you can do you. You can do accounting. Like that's your thing. Like I don't have to do it to be supportive of you. Do I think promoting it is good? I don't think promoting anything is good, to be frank, ever. But um,
But friend, if you supporting, if you have a friend and your
mhm.
friend is the complete opposite of you when it comes to like sleeping with men and just the whole mentality of, as far as like how to go about it, you might not be like promoting it yourself, but if you're like supporting your friend doing it and tell her like, girl, do you kind of are like encouraging and promoting that behavior in a, directly to your friend.
I think I'm grasping what you're saying, but like, can I ask a question like in correspondence so I can grasp it further?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So you know how in college, like there's obviously sports teams, you're a member of one, there's frats, etc. There's a lot of people, men in particular, in the examples I'm giving, who act extremely promiscuously. Now their teammates, their frat brothers are more than happy to support what they're doing, but they may have a girlfriend and they don't behave in the same way. Is that supporting it? Like in the same sense that you
Did you say like someone having a girlfriend but like basically cheating on their girlfriend? Is that what you said?
no, I'm saying if someone in a frat or a sports team in college has a girlfriend
Uh-huh,
but their friend is
uh-huh.
misbehaving and they're sleeping with multiple people or whatever, and they're like, okay, yeah, bro, like you do you, whatever. Is that supporting in the same sense that your like example is?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
No, no.
No. If there, listen, hold on, Izzy. If like, okay, so from the man perspective now, right? If I'm in a relationship and my man is single and he's doing whatever he's doing, call it the double standard or whatever, but it's not the same, friend. Like it's not the
But
same.
why?
Wait. I want to say that you're using the word support, and I don't think the right word would be support. The better word is defend, because like, and that's really my
So
question.
how
Condone.
is defending
Condone.
someone's
Like
action
condone
Yeah,
or
better than
defend.
condone is the right word. Ty's right. Condone is the right word.
Cause,
but how is condoning or
yeah,
defending an action better than
noble.
supporting?
Like, can I?
Danny's
Let
about
me.
to go right now,
Yeah.
guys.
So noble. So if you had a friend that you just met, right? You just met him for a couple months, and he says, I don't, you know, what I mean, I don't like. I'm just gonna be real with you, man, because I like you. Well, but I'm just gonna be real. I like to look at kids. You know what I mean? He said he likes to look at kids, but he don't touch on kids. Listen, he don't touch on kids. He don't do these type of stuff. But I like to look at kids and stuff like that, right? Are you going to support him back? Well, if you like it, then I love it. Like, or you
No,
gonna, or are you gonna say, or are you gonna say like, yo, like I'm not for that, and you shouldn't be doing that,
right?
brother.
I'm
Like,
gonna
Okay,
disassociate
but
myself.
morally and legally inept is very different to just like being like, okay, like I will help you or like I will be there for you, which is how I see support.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm. No, was it? Y'all saying it's not the same? It is the same. As I said, it's his liking. So if it's something that he likes, you're supporting the thing that the
Okay,
person likes. So you're just saying, okay, do you? But I'm not with it. But you
but
do
so here's the
you.
thing. I
It
don't
is
think it's
kind of you
morally
condoning. Okay.
inept for adults consulting for consensual adults. I don't think it's morally inept for consensual adults to engage in multiple partners. But do I think it's morally inept for someone to engage with someone who literally cannot make their own decisions, aka a child? Yes, 100%, because that's literally wrong. That's like innately wrong. Because that child is not consenting. They cannot legally consent.
Okay. Let me play